Before history learned the word empire, before kings believed they ruled by divine right, there was a man who dared to call himself a god. His name was Naram-Sin, grandson of Sargon the Great, the first empire builder, but where Sargon conquered through fear, Naram-Sin conquered through pure domination. He did not want to rule the world. He wanted to own it. From the moment he took the throne, something shifted in Akkad. People said the air felt heavier, temples burned more incense, the drums of war echoed longer in the night. A new king had risen, and he demanded the world kneel. Naram-Sin began his reign with blood. He marched his armies against the mountain tribes known as the Louvre, a people so fierce even Sargon had struggled to control them. But Naram-Sin did not struggle. He destroyed them. On stone carvings, he is shown crushing their bodies beneath his feet, driving his spear into their king, while his soldiers cut down anyone who dared breathe. He did not negotiate. He did not show mercy. He did not accept surrender. He made an example. And the world understood something terrifying. A new kind of ruler had arrived. Where other kings bowed to gods, Naram-Sin refused to bow to anyone. He wore a horned crown, a symbol reserved only for the gods of Mesopotamia. And when priests warned him this was forbidden, he silenced them. When I conquer, he said, the gods follow me. But the truth was darker. Naram-Sin no longer followed anything. He believed the universe itself should follow him. As victories piled upon victories, the king's arrogance grew into something monstrous. He demanded statues of himself in temples. He forced citizens to call him the god of Akkad. He inscribed war victories with words meant only for divine beings. The empire trembled. Not from rebellion, but from the magnitude of the king's pride. But arrogance has a way of opening doors to destruction. A prophecy spread through the empire. Akkad will fall because of one man's sin. At first, villagers whispered it, then cities murmured it, then priests chanted it. When Naram-Sin learned of this prophecy, he did not humble himself. He did not pray. He did not seek forgiveness. He marched on the holy city of Nippur, the spiritual heart of Mesopotamia. He burned its temples, he slaughtered its priests, he destroyed its sacred symbols, and he looted its treasures as if they belonged to him by birthright. In that moment, Naram-Sin did what no king had ever done. He declared war on the gods, and the gods responded. First came famine. Harvests failed, rain stopped, fields dried like bones under the sun. Then came plague. Bodies rotted in the streets. Families fled their homes. The living feared the dead, and the dead outnumbered the living. Then came rebellion, a storm so massive it tore through every corner of the empire. Cities that once swore loyalty now raised armies against him. It was as if the world itself had turned on Akkad. But Naram-Sin, he did not bend. He gathered what remained of his forces, battle-worn, starving, exhausted, and marched out to crush the rebellion. He fought battle after battle, city after city, enemy after enemy. His sword drank so much blood that soldiers claimed it changed color. He won some, he lost many, and each victory felt smaller, as if the empire itself was dissolving beneath his feet. Naram-Sin tried to reclaim Nippur, hoping that restoring its temples might undo his curse. But the gates did not open for him. The priests refused him entry. The gods had judged him. And judgment is a heavy weight. One by one, cities fell. Allies disappeared. Enemies multiplied like locusts in a dying field. The empire his grandfather built, the empire he had expanded, collapsed around him like a dying beast. And still, Naram-Sin walked tall, horned crown glinting in the light, as if he truly believed he was untouchable. But a man cannot outrun a prophecy. Naram-Sin died the same way. He lived shrouded in legend and violence. Some say he fell in battle. Some say he took his own life. Others say the gods themselves struck him down. But one truth remains. When he fell, the empire fell with him. After his death, Akkad shattered. Cities rebelled. Foreign invaders stormed the borders. Warfare, famine, and chaos consumed the land. Within a generation, the greatest empire the world had ever seen became dust. Historians still debate what destroyed Akkad. Climate collapse, invaders, a weakening dynasty. But the people of that time believed something much simpler, much darker, and much more poetic. Akkad fell because its king believed he was a god. And no mortal survives that kind of pride. His story survived not because he ruled, but because he showed the world something terrifying. A man can rise like a god. A man can rule like a tyrant. But when a man challenges the heavens, he falls like a curse. Naram-Sin, the god king who destroyed everything, including himself. History remembers power, but it never forgets pride. Subscribe and uncover the rulers who rose, ruled, and fell into darkness.